All right, Johnny here from Playa del Carmen. I'm here with Robbie. I met him in Playa just last week, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought it'd be interesting to interview him because he's got a very similar story-ish to mine. Married, divorced. How old are you? 40?
40.
40.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be good to kind of get his thoughts on ways he's improved after divorce, how he's moved on, things he's working on now. So I guess if you just want to tell a little bit about your story, go from there.
Yeah. It's actually crazy meeting up with you. Like I said, I wouldn't say I was like an early follower of your channel. I did hear of it fairly early on, and I liked how kind of genuine the message was. And I always look for that kind of content on YouTube. There's a lot out there that's, we talked about it before, like that's disingenuous.
Sure.
A lot of people are using buzzwords and they're just talking just to get people to listen, but it's like a genuine story is very difficult to come by.
Okay.
And even though I was kind of like past the point of like needing assistance with it, it still is interesting that it resonated with me, like men improving. And I think whether you've just gone through something in your life or you're just trying to continually be better, I don't think you ever get to a point where you've reached the point where you're like as good as you could ever get. There's always a journey of like, how can I keep improving myself? How can I do better in business? How can I do better with my eating habits? There's always something I find, right? So if you find somebody that's like, has a similar message to what you're looking at doing, it just keeps you in the right mind space and holds you more accountable to the things you want to do, right? So that's why it sort of resonated with me, and I love that kind of content. It's good to listen to when you're working and just when you want to hold yourself accountable.
Oh yeah, I'm the same. I mean, there's always, if you look at it, there's always something you can do to improve. So
yeah, absolutely.
I know when I was married, I never looked for any ways to improve. It was always come home, play video games. This is my life. This is what I do. Yeah. I know we talked a little bit when you were married. You were working out and you were kind of doing stuff.
Yeah, I always tried to keep in shape. I think I didn't do it as much as I do now. I kind of went through the motions a little bit, but I think, I don't know, it's been such a long time ago, and I didn't really have a bad experience per se. It was actually a great experience. It was just a learning experience more than anything. And sometimes you need to, if you're in a comfortable spot, you need to be a little bit uncomfortable with what your future brings in order to make certain changes. And I think the changes that I had to make was like be more of a positive person.
When you say that, did you feel like you were kind of more of a negative?
Yeah,
I was kind of getting comfortable with certain aspects.
I was good with a lot of aspects of my life. My social life was fine. The life we had was fine as well. But I think you do get kind of comfortable, but also I think on the other side of that is like you get a bit frustrated of like going through the motions, and that's where I was like frustrated with what I was doing with my work, and like I was holding myself to a much higher standard than I was actually achieving, and so that was really frustrating me, and I didn't realize how much that was sort of like projecting outwards.
So you were frustrated you weren't moving forward, like
I
growing?
mean, like I think, I mean, it was like through COVID, so like a lot of people were like getting laid off and stuff like that, and I was kind of like, I shouldn't be as frustrated with where things are going, but it is what it is. I think most men do that. They give themselves a hard time.
Okay.
I think that's kind of where I was, and I didn't realize how much it was like projecting out to a partner that I was living with like nonstop for COVID. We were locked in place for like 3 years, right?
Okay.
And then if somebody, if your partner doesn't necessarily, agree with you going out during COVID and potentially bringing it back, and there's a whole thing of like, it changed a lot of people's opinions. Like you became very liberal or very conservative. Either you were against the vaccines. Like I was vaccinated because I had to travel for work.
Did that cause some friction between you guys?
I mean, a little bit. It wasn't that bad, but at the point, like it was at the point where I was like going along with it, and after a while, you sort of realize, like I agree with it, but also not to the extent that we were doing it. I felt like I was losing a lot of my friends, and I needed to like leave my friend group and go hang out with their friends, right?
Oh, so you started losing your friends and it was focused more.
Yeah, like not losing them, but like they were wondering, hey, why don't you come out with us anymore? I was like, oh, well, I mean, it's COVID. We can't go out to the bars or anything. So I mean, I'm saying that now, but that really wasn't like a problem. But in my head, it was like, now I look back now and I just didn't have the boundaries that I would have today. As far as like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I'm living my life the way that I want to, and I'm with a partner that's supported me in doing that.
Okay.
And again, like I look back and it was completely fine. I thought that the only thing that it really did was just like, I think for anybody, whether it's like a bad breakup, and I've seen that before, and it's obviously I'm happy that it wasn't like that. But I think even then, it's like you still have that point in time where you're like, what do I do now? Like the rest of your life kind of gets, okay, now it's like a blank slate.
Okay.
And you can either dive into content, you can dive into self-improvement, which is what I did.
Okay.
Get into the gym, and just say, whatever the next years bring, I'm going to be in good shape. I'm going to be, I'm going to use that time to like build up my confidence, build up my anything I can do for my business. Now I have the time. I have no more excuses.
Okay.
It's like it's just you at this point, right?
So you guys split up.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I've had a relationship since then, but this was 2021.
21. Okay,
Yeah.
so about 4 years, and then after that, you said it was kind of pretty much amicable, and
Oh yeah, big time, yeah.
and then rather, I guess, how did you experience that it's ending? Was it both your guys' decision? Was it her decision? Was it your decision?
I think I sort of drove it to being her decision. It wasn't like this one day, right? It was just like after a while we kind of like had a few talks, but okay, this is not really working.
Yeah, you go in that circle a couple times.
Yeah,
like, all right, what are we doing?
And at the time I didn't really want kids.
Okay.
I know that was kind of a priority for her. So it was just like it happened so quickly, and I think COVID, I wouldn't blame it on that, but I think it really put a light to like if you're not trapped, but if you're like having to live in the same spot, you're both working from home, you're both there all the time. It's just like it shines a light on if you're not compatible.
Yeah, I think that really shone like, oh, now we really realize that there's some discrepancies.
Yeah, and it was at that point it was like 10 years, and I don't want to make a joke out of it and say that's just a long time to be married, but it is. Like if you're married with somebody for that period of time, you better have like you better not be complacent, but you better have like checks and balances in place to like this is how we're going to manage conversations about X and Y. And I think we were still going through like the kids stuff, like that's a big thing, right?
When you guys got together, you said it was about 10 years you've known each other or together. What was it like in the beginning? Like, if you know my story, like I didn't have a lot of options, so I felt like I settled a lot.
Yeah.
How did you feel like going into it? Was it like, oh, I'm picking the right person for me, and this is gonna, or was it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I think I can resonate with your story because I think I was that kind of person, but I was lucky enough to find somebody that I genuinely did like, and I didn't feel at all like I was settling. That was never the case. I do think that like as a person, you sort of like grow in different directions, and I think that now I would be a different person than I was back then, of course, hopefully. But back then, I resonated with because every guy when you're young, you inherently have very, I'm not gonna say very little options because I feel like I'm generalizing, but I think a lot of men out there would feel like they have not so many options because they haven't built their value up yet.
Yeah.
Right? They're young. And that's why I would tell people, like, and a lot of guys out there, a lot of YouTubers are saying the same thing, like, don't date if you don't have everything, which rarely you do.
Yeah.
Don't date in your 20s. Like, seriously, like,
Yeah. I don't want to make it sound like I only was with her so I didn't have any option.
Yeah.
But it was very much like there were red flags.
Yeah.
And because I didn't have experience or options, I just you just put up with this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think it's about boundaries too. I think at that point
absolutely.
where you say, well, maybe I'm not settling because I don't know, there's obviously everybody has options, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they choose to go out and explore them, I think, but it's the boundaries that you're willing to overlook and saying like, I'll
do I have the boundaries where I will walk away?
Yeah, exactly. Which of course I didn't. I don't know that there would have been anything that would have made me do that. Like that, again, it wasn't, I think looking back is like the way that dating has turned into, I'm like, not that I would go back with the same person because I think we're just different people, but like, I would say a lot of those characteristics are still what I'd be looking for.
Okay.
Because I look back now, I'm like, just I'm a different person now, and I want somebody that's in my mind space, but also has that old school, like traditional value.
Yeah.
And I think that's like very difficult to find now, which is
that's rare to find now.
sad. Yeah. So that's when a lot of guys are like kind of waking up and saying, now that I've done the work, now that, maybe we're a bit older, we have more experience, or we're ready to have kids or whatever, but you're just not finding the people that are like not up to your level, but like you're just not finding the people. You're looking at the people that you thought were hot in your 30s or 20s, and you're like, yeah, that's great, but like I can see that if I was with you, you would drive me absolutely crazy, and you would like ruin my life, basically, because you're like, I'm not.
When you're young, it's like, oh, you're hot.
Yeah,
I'll deal with whatever
but
happens.
then it's like if they extract your energy from you, and I'm way more conscious of it now. So if I'm with the wrong person, they extract your energy from you, and they extract your time, your resources. That's a very dangerous thing for a guy, because you can just dive into that kind of relationship, and if you're not careful, then 5 years passes, 10 years passes.
Yep.
And the worst thing could happen, right? You're with the wrong person, they take half your money, right?
Yeah, you have kids, and then half your stuff's gone. Or you stay with that person, you're just miserable.
Exactly, yeah. So
what are your thoughts on? So you've been single for a few years. You said you got into a relationship after that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you give yourself some time to process being single, or like how soon did you jump into another relationship?
Yeah, like so, I had like in that relationship. So I'm a millennial, so like I like having that ability to look back before the internet, before social media, and now I have the ability to look back before dating apps, right? Which is, I think it's interesting, because I didn't really date much, well, a little bit before I got married, but when I got out of the marriage, it was completely different. Like, you had dating apps now, you had social media. I was never a huge social media guy, so like I know that's like basically a dating app now. So like I was like dumbfounded by how it operates now, and I'm like, oh man, I got to go on an app. It was never like I didn't have a ton of game to go up to somebody on the street. It was never part of my repertoire of like doing that. So I never thought of like, okay, I'm not going to do that at a grocery store. I don't have that sort of bone in my body or muscle, whatever you want to call it. So I dabbled on the apps, and like I was like going on dates, but I was very old school still. Like, I would show up with flowers sometimes. Okay. Like, oh my God, making myself sick thinking about that.
Flowers,
but like,
dinner dates.
Yeah, like you're doing the full thing, because you're like, oh, I want to impress the girl. You want to like be a gentleman and pay for the date. Like, there's nothing wrong with that if you're doing it. But I think it's so transactional now, where if you go above and beyond, then they're like, oh, you're trying really hard, and obviously you don't have any options, otherwise you would do this, because you're so conditioned to say men with options will just say, let's go grab a coffee. You got 10 minutes to prove why you should be with me. And like, I don't want to fall into that part of it where I'm like, yeah, whatever, like I'll go and watch a bunch of dates.
You don't want to be that guy who posts on TikTok, I just spent $200 on the date, and then I got nothing. Like,
exactly.
A lot of times if you do these dinner dates, girls will feel like you're doing this to get something from it. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to sleep with you now.
Yeah, exactly. Which is just a weird situation. And I did give myself a few months to like get to understand the single life, because at that point I had not lived singly, I would say, aside from being in school and being a student, but like not as a professional, not as like having some more resources to like get a nice apartment, to like really get my life set up. I never really had that. So it was always either as a student or saving up for the wedding, or like, with somebody in my life that I was loyal to, right? I'm not going to go out to bars and hit on women when I'm with somebody, obviously. So I never had that experience really. And so I did give myself some time, and then I went on apps, went on a bunch of dates, and I don't know, at first you're kind of just going through the motions. You meet some people that are cool, but like you're still not in the space of like getting into a relationship, because like, I just don't know, wouldn't know how to manage this. Like it's just different. And then I had to learn a lot. Like I would say over the past year, like I lived in Vancouver for the last 14 years, and I moved to Montreal just to be on my own for a little bit. And just consuming content, like I was talking about, like the stuff that you're putting out and stuff that a lot of other guys are putting out, whether it's like dating, whether it's self-improvement, like just being a better person. Like not the Andrew Tate stuff, but like just actual like entrepreneurs that are just guiding you on how to just be a better man. Yeah. So like consuming a lot of that, trying to read books, trying to just like, be a bit more in my own head, like trying to get that voice of like anything negative, just like completely remove it out from my head. Okay. Because that's a part of dating too, right? You're speaking to yourself, you're overthinking. I think you just should be, when you're going on dates, you shouldn't overthink what's going to happen. Just like, go on date.
It's going to go good. It's going to be very good. It's going to be very funny.
Yeah. Grab a drink, and just meet a new person. That's why I always say now, I'm like, I'm a lot not transactional, but like I'd prefer to go out and just spend 20 minutes, grab a drink, and then if it's going well, then you can extend it, right? But you're not sitting down for like a full afternoon, and then you're like, well, I can't leave because that would be rude, but I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I've heard a lot of women say too, like they don't like the dinner date for the same kind of reasons.
It's
like,
a lot of pressure.
If you don't get along or it's just kind of weird, like you're stuck there eating, you're still like, when can I leave? So definitely the drinks first.
And they've all gone well. Like I've never had a bad. I've had expensive dates because of that, but I've never had bad dates. I've been pretty blessed in terms of like, not getting catfished that much. Because that's the thing, right? When you're on the apps, you're like, it's a big time drain. You got to be a bit more intentional. Like, you can get a date every night of the week if you really want to. Like, if you're doing the work as a guy, like you genuinely could.
Build your profile up.
You put a good profile. One of the things I actually noticed about one of the recommendations you made was photos. And like, I'm trying to do something, working on another project where I'm gonna, I need to be not in front of the camera per se, but like I'd like to have like a better LinkedIn photo. I'd like to have like a more of a brand online or a digital brand. And so I'm thinking, well, I got my dating profile here and I have my LinkedIn, I have my other stuff that I'm trying to do. So I'm going to go get some professional photos. So I invested in those. And because before, like as a guy, I don't take pictures of myself, right? Like,
I think most guys typically they're
cut your ex out of it.
It's just like, what are the best photos I have in my camera roll right now?
Or there's like your ex's arm around your shoulder and you're cutting it out. Like that looks kind of weird.
Most guys have these are the 6 best photos from my camera roll, which shows very little effort. I mean, it is a dating app. It is based on looks, whether you like it or not. So you don't even have to be attractive. You just have to show yourself in an attractive way, not just selfies, not just group photos where we don't know who you are.
Yeah. I've seen the comments about the fish. I don't get the fish photo thing.
Girls, I've not heard good things about.
Very one-dimensional.
Because it's a hobby that girls don't participate in.
Yeah.
Like, most girls are not like, I would love to go fishing.
Yeah.
It's more like, I don't want to do that at all. So it's cool that you do that, but I mean, holding a fish doesn't make you look all that attractive.
Yeah. It's like you can catch fish if you want to, but even if you caught a fish, like, I mean, anybody can go out there and catch a fish, but can you like bludgeon it over the head and like fillet it and like actually eat it,
Yeah.
Or do you have to get somebody else to do that for you?
Yeah. It's a great hobby, but most girls are not going to look at that and be like, that's the kind of guy I would want to date.
So I think if you're looking at your competition out there.
Exactly. And
there's not a lot of it.
Another thing, girls get bored on the app. So if they see 10 fish pictures in a row, or they see 10 selfies in a row, or 10 whatever, if you don't stand out in any way, they're just like, oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's very, you want to just get some attention so that they stop and like, oh, this does look.
Yeah. If you're like
different.
one out of many, and I think a lot of guys get discouraged, and I've heard a lot of like people that say, don't go on apps unless you're like the top 5%. It's just so dumb.
No, you just have to present yourself.
Yeah. Like when they talk about percentages, I'm like, I want to get those out of my algorithm on YouTube because they always pop up and like always some of the 1%. Like if you ever just walk out of your apartment, there's way more like decent people at just 1%. Like it's just such a stupid percentage to use, or like the top 5% or the top this, whatever. Like there's a lot of decent people that if you like, you don't need to be the top 1%, you don't need to be the top 5%. Ideally, that's a good place to strive. But like,
I mean, you want to continue to develop yourself to get
like don't get
higher levels.
Don't be depressed because like by nature, like there's like, 9 billion people on the planet. Like if we're all watching YouTube and we're all trying to get up to that 1%, it's going to grow. That's just how percentages work. If more people are, unless people are falling out of that percentage and they're downgrading, I guess that could happen. But like you shouldn't just always say, well, I'm not good enough. Like just try to be as good as you can be.
Yeah.
And like maybe take best practices, like lose the fish, pick up go on a hike or something like that, or like.
I mean, all these pictures you can get with an iPhone too. Just take an hour or 2 hours on a weekend.
Yeah, and put
some effort in.
Put on a suit. Like you got to ask yourself, like, stop being a woman hater and ask yourself, like, would I date a guy that does this? Or like, would I date a girl that does this? Would I date myself? Like, I'm not saying. But you know what I mean? Like you look inside and say, am I presenting myself as an ideal partner?
Yeah.
Or am I just being entitled and saying, well, a girl should like me because I do
Yeah,
this or
because
that?
of who I am.
Yeah, it's like no. There's like you expect the girl to do this or that, but hold up your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
And do the best you can, and then you can put your boundaries up. But if
Yeah.
you don't,
That's how I looked at it when I got divorced. I was overweight. All my free time was just spent video games. Like I didn't work out. And then I'm looking at this like if a girl dated a guy like me, I'd be like, why? I'd be like, why are you dating me? Like, that doesn't make sense. You're like the girls I want are attractive. Why would they go for a guy like me?
Yeah, you never see that.
I would. Yeah, I'd be like, why? This doesn't make sense.
There's always something like if you're uber rich, we know there's people out there that are like, they date 70-year-olds. If that's what you want to do, great. But there's always one thing, like there's that thing online on YouTube or on Instagram where the Raiders coach or the owner of the Raiders actually.
Yeah, Al Davis.
Yeah, so he's got this like crazy haircut. Like if you saw the guy, like it's like a caricature.
Yeah, if you saw him on the street.
Yeah, it's
so
like
crazy,
okay, but then his girl is like, I don't know, 27, blonde, like looks like a model, and he's like, oh yeah, she fell in love with me before she knew that I was a millionaire. I'm like, no, dude, like
no,
clearly that's not the case. Like you're obviously either you're lying or you're in your own world, but there's something there. Like obviously he can provide a life to her. It's like Belichick's wife, right?
Yeah, lose all your money and see if she sticks around.
So like if that's what you want to do, great. Like you can be fat, but have money, provide a life, like have a yacht, like do your end of the bargain.
And do you want a girl like that? Would you want a girl that's only with you? Like if that's what you want to do, that's fine.
Yeah, but if you're out of shape, you're not doing well, like as far as like you're working at McDonald's as like a grown ass man, honestly, like if you're not doing the work,
grown ass man yelling at Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's like well,
not attractive.
Funny thing about video games, and I've heard this too, is that it's like a proxy for real life, where a lot of guys will, when like say the teenagers will play video games, they'll use that as a way to level up their character, and it's a proxy to not. They don't have to level up in real life; they can just level up their character.
Yeah,
and they can there's other things to it, but I've heard that analogy on a podcast, and it's just like that's why it's looked down upon in some cases, because it's like, well, why don't you just get out there and why don't you be the character?
Yeah, level up yourself
in your own video game, in your own movie. Like, why are you playing through somebody else?
And I don't necessarily have a problem with video games in particular. Me personally, I just don't have time because I'd rather build myself up, run a business, whatever. But
it's a time drain too. Yeah,
it is a time drain. I mean, looking back, I spent thousands of hours on World of Warcraft, and I put all that into my appearance, learning a guitar, like a skill.
Yeah.
Like I could have been in a band. It's just a time thing. But I mean, if you want to distract yourself for a little bit, that's your decision.
Yeah. I wouldn't say anything bad about it. It's like
it's not.
It's an interesting proxy to consider.
I mean, mine was obsessive. Like, all my free time was to avoid, or I don't even like. I'm looking back. Maybe it was because I was bored in the relationship. Like I'm with my wife. I come home from work. We already know everything about each other. Like, what am I going to do? It's like, I guess I'll just play video games. So I don't know if a lot of people can relate to that, but
you got to be like, you got to be intentional. But again, at the same time, like if you're doing that, then it's probably the biggest, like, well, I wouldn't say red flag, but it's the biggest thing if you're trying to actively avoid your partner.
Yeah, I mean, it's also not making you, like, it wasn't making me more attractive in her eyes, so she's not wanting to stick around. I'm actually losing value because rather than working out or making more money or traveling, I'm using my time for video games, which is actually decreasing my value when I'm yelling at it like a little kid.
Yeah, and the worst thing is to become bitter too. Like I'm in tech as a profession, and all you hear is AI this, AI that, AI is killing jobs, AI is doing this. So there's people that are like fatigued by it. Like I'm definitely fatigued by it. I'm like, I just wanted to. Parts of me just wants it to go away because I feel like it's like killing creativity. It's like I don't know what the world looks like after it's like killed half the jobs that we have.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in 3 years.
But it is the reality of it. So you have people that are either going to be like, yeah, it's the reality of my future, so I need to either adapt to it, or I can push back and it'll replace my job. So, or you can just say, wait, how can I use it? Like, how can I leverage it to like be a better salesperson, to be a better manager, whatever your job is?
Yeah.
How can I leverage it to make my job better, as opposed to like pushing back on it and having somebody else say, well, this guy's pushing back.
Yeah, somebody's going to make money. Like, I mean,
so I think
get pushed back again, or just
so that would be like the analogy that I use for dating. Is like there's Instagram exists, votes exist, women like nice things.
Yeah.
So rather than being bitter about it, like if you're a guy that's like, I'm not living up to, you don't have to compare yourself to people,
No.
but like everybody wants to travel. Everyone wants a good life. Everyone wants a man that they're happy with, that can show off to their girls. Like that is just what it is. If you're bitter about it and you're like pushing back on that,
Get better, not bitter.
Yeah. Like, so good luck. I mean, be bitter, become a victim, or you can just say, this is what women have wanted for the last like 40,000 years. They wanted a provider. They want a guy that's able to take care of them. And some women are having to settle for guys that are not like that, but they're miserable.
Yeah, they're not. It's very rare to find guys that are working on themselves, that can be dominant, that can provide, that can, like, guys that have actually worked on themselves.
I don't want to be with a girl that's with me because she has no other options, because as soon as the other option appears, she's out.
Yeah, that's when you get that hyper game.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm just biding my time.
Yeah, and I don't want to be with a girl because I have no other options, because then it's like, I don't know, either you bounce or you're not happy, right? And which is, either way, it's not good.
I mean, you also attract the women, like you attract people as you become more attractive. Like, the more attractive I've become, the more attractive people have been in my life. People that run businesses. Attract more attractive women.
Yeah, and energy is a thing too. Like I'm not a hugely spiritual person. I love hearing about people that are, but like even like say comments, like there's always this, everybody that's a YouTuber, they always have negative people that just get by like just saying like stupid stuff in there because it makes them feel better, right? It's like, oh, I'm gonna project what my insecurities are on your video.
I was reading a book or listening to a book. I have just got it started. Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yeah,
I've heard him.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
But he was, from what I was listening to yesterday, he was talking about your thoughts control your reality, which I've heard plenty of times. Like, okay, that makes sense. I still have these negative thoughts sometimes. But he was saying, like, he gets deep down into like everything is, you go down to the atomic level, everything's just like atoms and energy.
Yep.
He was saying, like, if you really knew that your thoughts create your reality, you would never go a day without like consistently focusing on like, okay, these are having a big impact on me.
Yeah.
And I kind of noticed that, like, the more positive you think, the more positive things come to you. The more you focus on negative things, the more problems happen.
And it's not like a magical mystic thing, right? It's not like the art of the what is it called? The art of a law of attraction.
Yeah.
Where people think it's like, oh, you're just talking about mystical stuff. Like imaginary
things. I think positive things.
Yeah, it's like the universe is just going to gift you things. Like, you still have to do the work. You still have to like show up. But I think the way that I would look at that is like, if you're, like, say you're an introvert and you're walking down the street and you're like looking at the ground like this, your posture's down. People are not going to approach you. You're not going to get approached by, say, women. You're not, well, they don't approach people anyways, but you're not going to be, I mean, we're in Playa del Carmen, they'll still approach you for drugs. So ask you for a book.
Yeah, they'll still do that.
They'll still do that. So you still got that going on. But you're not going to like get the opportunities that you want because people are like, oh, this guy's either.
People aren't going to push positive energy towards you. Either,
but if you're looking up, you're smiling, you're like, people are, oh, this guy's approachable. I'm gonna, how's it going today? Or how you're gonna smile at people. You're just gonna create conversations. And then whether it's a business opportunity, whether you're at a networking event and you're going up to people and you're like, hey, I introduce myself. Like, that's positive energy, and you're naturally going to create good things because you're doing the work.
People want to feel good. Yeah. So if you can make them feel good, they will.
Yeah. So if you're a negative guy about dating, like, or a woman hater, or blaming everybody but yourself, or like, it's like, what do you expect is going to happen? Like,
what do you what kind of results are you expecting to be drawn to you?
Somebody's going to come in and finally like,
ride in your problems. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, now women like you.
Like, sorry, as a guy, you either figure out your responsibilities and own up to it and do the work, or you sink and that's fine. Like, we'll take your women, like, it's the reality of it, right?
Women want to be with high value guys.
Yeah.
So you'll get back to when you're 40 now.
Yeah.
You got divorced when you were what, 36-ish, 35, 36?
36.
35, Did you have any limiting beliefs when you were getting out of that? Like, oh, I'm too old to do anything, or I'm a failure as a husband? Like, these are some of the thoughts that I had. I got divorced at 34.
Not really. I mean, obviously you do, like, to a certain extent. It never really was the prevailing thought, though. Like, it was just like I wanted to say annoying. Because now you got to, like, okay, now what am I going to do? Like, I thought the rest of my life was decided. And as soon as you decide that, hey, that's actually a good thing, then now you get to choose. Now you get to be the architect of your rest of your life.
You can make this
Yeah.
something that's going to change your
Age
life.
was for me. I think I'm a late bloomer. I've always said that in terms of like my professional life, in terms of anything I've ever done. It's always been, I'll catch up to people that are like the first adopters. Like you have people that
Okay.
bloom in high school. You have people that bloom in their 20s, bloom in their 30s, and some people have their best years of life in their 40s.
Yep.
Right. So like I believe that I'm a part of that latter class where I'm now like I have the experience to grow into what I want to do for the rest of my life in terms of my career. My experience in dating now, it took me years to learn best practices on how to do that successfully.
So in your 40s, you feel like this is now the best time of your life, dating wise,
Oh,
career
absolutely.
wise.
Yeah. I think you have to. There's just no other way of thinking about it. Like if you think that you're on the back nine of your life, like that's such a depressing.
Goes back to the mindset. Like
Yeah,
that you're going to attract that stuff.
So depressing. So like I think you always have your beliefs of like, okay, the only thing actually I'm thinking about is, or that I thought about at the point was like, now I gotta like do all this thing again. Which I'm like, oh man, like, it's just a part of you that's like, I don't want to have to date for 2 years, go through the motions to like, move into somebody. It's a drag on your mind. I'm like, I don't care about that stuff anymore. At that point, right? I was like, okay, that's the last thing I wanted. I want to concentrate on my professional life because that's the only thing that was really like, pissing me off at the time.
Okay.
So I'm like, try to dig into that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. You always have the same stuff, right? You always have these New Year's resolutions. I'm going to eat better.
Yep.
But like, what am I actually going to do? Like, and I've always loved boxing. I've always loved going to the gym. I never had to be told to do that. But you also look at your macros. You also look at your protein. You pay a bit more attention to it. Like, do it a bit more intentionally, rather than just go to the gym and just
not
do the
just
same.
20, do whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So like, metabolism wise, like I know that you recover a little bit differently, and you got to be more intentional about being in shape. And I think I heard a quote on Instagram where it's like, I try not to pay too much attention to all that stuff, but like where they say like when you're over 40, the biggest flex is being in shape.
Yeah, I think
because
they
that
say
takes
like
a lot more work.
0.5% of guys over 40 have a six pack.
Yeah, and or like even benching 225, or like even having. And again, people have families, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like I get life catches up with you, and if you're single, but if you're single, you have like, what else are you doing? Like what else are you doing? Are you just staying at home?
Yeah, like playing video games, you're going to the gym and taking care of yourself.
Unless you're working, great. Like if you want to go down the same route as what we just talked about, where you're like, hey, I'll get the chick that wants me for money. Great, that's fine. Well, that's what you want.
Yeah.
But if you don't want that, then what are you bringing to the table? Like, are you bringing
what are you doing to make girls actually want to be with you?
Yeah, is she going to respect you? Like, do you respect yourself? If you don't respect yourself, then nobody's going to respect you.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that you find it's harder to find the more traditional woman.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on like guys dating them? Like, should they date? A lot of guys trying to find that right girl. Do you feel now that you are successful with your career, you're in your 40s, you're in good shape, you have options? Is it harder to like even just want to settle? Like you said, you don't want to redo all this over again.
Yeah, well, I mean, now I do. Like before, when you're out of it, that's like the first thing that comes to your mind. You're like, oh man, it's a slug just to get through this whole thing again. Not the right way of thinking about it, but now I definitely am. But obviously, like when you do the work as a guy, and you're like, well, I'm trying to be the best person I can be for my future partner. So I would expect the same from the person you're going to be with, right? Like you're not just going to. Because I think otherwise you're being drained. Like I'm definitely not going to be in a situation where my partner is going to take away from something I want to do. Like if somebody's like having an issue with me going to the gym, or
an issue going to meet your friends.
Yeah, or like again within certain things, right? Like I can't live the single life. Like if I want to go traveling with a friend of mine, I would expect that she may want to come with me.
Yeah,
all that's good. Like I'm not thinking I'm going to live the single life.
Yeah.
So I'll adjust and I'll try to be a good partner. But at the same time, like, if you're being a good partner, you're being a good man, you have to expect that your future wife, whatever you want to call it, like whoever you're dating is not going to just take from you. She's not extracting what you've built. You know, like if you're
she's supposed to help you build.
if
not
you're
just
making
take.
money, it's like I don't need somebody to come in and like I don't need a dependent. You know, like it's
I
like
want a partner.
I don't need a dependent. Like I'm cool with paying for things because I think there's a man, like as a man, you should be doing certain things.
Mhm.
But if you're going to be taking advantage of that, you're like, oh, buy me this, buy me this, buy me this, and I'm just going to live off of you. I'm like, nah, that's cool. Like,
I don't do that.
you know, I don't need that. Like I'm good with that. I'd rather put that money towards me and travel. You know, go to play the car and go to Europe because I get way more out of that than just like, you know, having, you know, a sugar baby that's living off me. Like I just, again, if you're good with that.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
But a lot of men with options aren't like either they have a ton of those women and they're like, oh, I just have like 15 of these women traveling around the world and I'll do that. And that's fine. But like for me, I'm not going to do that.
No, for me, I want the woman to want to be with me because of who I am, not the things I can buy them. And obviously, you do want to be a provider, you take care of them, and whatever, but like the first thing is like, no, you're such a great person.
Yeah, you're not going to be taken advantage of. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, why would you be in a relationship where somebody's taking advantage of you, using you for certain things to make their life better? Especially with like Instagram, I think it's ruined a lot of relationships or the landscape in general because
it definitely makes it easier for girls to get validation from a bunch of
or just like
sources.
Or just like what can you do? And I feel like sometimes when you're on dates, or like okay, I'm going to take a reel or a story, I'm going to shoot a story, and like usually the guy's nowhere to be seen. Right, the guy's providing the landscape for your photo shoot.
Yeah,
you know, and the girl's doing this and this and this, and the guy's like, "We're on a date," you know, like have some respect.
Yeah, I heard a guy left because the girl did that.
Yeah,
nowadays he was upset about it, and then I told somebody about that, and she was like, "Well, why is that such a big deal?" Like, well, because the guy's paying for this dinner, like we're supposed to be on a date together. He's nowhere to
on a first or second date. I guess if you're dating, great, like shoot whatever you want, like create your stories, like your 5 followers that actually watch them. But like,
the guy's like, paying for your dinner so that you can
like not everybody's an influencer, you know, like it's everybody knows the highlight reel. Everybody like when somebody's traveling, now your feed blows up, right? It's like, okay, great, you're gonna just shoot your highlights, and that's just how it always is. But people understand that now, and like, great, like everybody goes on vacation, everybody goes out for dinner, like there's nothing special about it. But if you're on a date, like at least have a bit of respect for your person's time. And get to know the person. Say, I'm not going to just use this to get validation from the likes I get.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the guy, and if you're not, then why wouldn't the guy just leave? Hey, I got other. Yeah. I can hang out at home. I can watch. I can work on my business. I can go out with a friend of mine that's actually going to pay attention to me. You know, I don't need to be here. Like we're sharing this moment together, and if you're not going to be,
we're supposed to be on a date.
Yeah.
Like, we're supposed to get to know each other.
I've had that before, and I didn't. And now I'm kind of going through things. Like it's been a few years, obviously, and I haven't really been dating that much. Well, shouldn't say that much, but I'll go on dates every now and then. But it's funny when I'm like, no, these types of situations don't exist, and then you go on a date and you're like, oh my god, this is actually happening.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
Yeah, so like there are women that are on their phones the whole time on dates, and they're like. They'll act like they're like, you know, taping things, looking at their food. Oh, you can't eat your food. Like, no, we're at a restaurant. Like, put the phone down. I'm not going to eat my food. To a certain degree, like, great. Take a picture of your dessert. Great. Whatever you want to do. But after a while, it's like, okay, let's have a chat. You know, like, who are you?
Yeah, let's get to know each other. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, like, who are you? Just like, give me your story. Like, put your phone down. Not everything has to be, you know, online. Nobody's watching it. Like, I don't know. It's easy to get bitter on those types of things, but I think that's where dating is headed.
And you're
stories? Like, yeah, it's like I'm not dating your followers. Like, you know.
Yeah, I also don't want to be with women that need validation from social media.
Yeah, they don't get that. I think social media is what it is. It's always going to be there. But if somebody has, and actually I was had a conversation with a friend of mine last night, and she's like, oh, a lot of women are not telling guys certain things. And I'm like, so you guys believe that men are that dumb? Like women tell themselves without knowing it so easily.
Yeah.
So like if you have, you know, if you're always taking pictures of yourself on vacations, like bikini photos and stuff like that, who do you think we think that's for? It's not for me because I can see you.
Yeah.
It's for your followers. And you're sort of telling on yourself that you need the validation of your followers to do that. It's like, to a certain degree, you do you, but the man's always to think, okay, well, isn't
why do
like,
you have to show that off?
yeah,
Why
like
can't you just have this
I'm
for
here with
yourself?
you, and if we're together, what's the point of you guys? Like, you look at your likes and looking at their likes. Who's liking this? Who's liking this? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
it's like, why does that matter? Like,
how many views can I get?
and they're like, oh, you're insecure. Like, no, that's not it. It's respect. It's like, if you're with a
Yep.
man that you genuinely like, it just shouldn't matter
Yeah.
who are your
My
followers.
friend, he talked to his girl about that. She's
Yeah.
like, I wanted to post this. Like, well, it's disrespectful because
Yeah.
you're with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I can understand why that is.
Yeah.
And she didn't post it. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the kind of girl that you kind of, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why is that disrespectful?
Yeah, and I get it. Like, the more you have conversations with women, and I try to have these types of conversations with women because
Nah,
we're
it's hard to,
we're living different lives. Like, to be fair, like, I'm not going to see it their way, and I can't expect for me to see it their way. All that matters is that they understand what men want or what I want, right? If they're my partner, understand. And if I'm being unreasonable, great. Like, you don't have to be with me.
boundaries.
Exactly. So, like, if we're not meant to be, we're not meant to be. But I'm not going to try to change your worldview. All you need to understand is, like, most men are not going to want a girl that's posting herself on social media all the time.
No.
It's just the reality of it. Like, we want different things. And if, as a girl, you're like, I don't get that, but I also going to complain that I'm not attracting the right guy. Oh, why aren't guys approaching me? Why aren't guys into me?
Yeah,
It's
why
like, well,
can't
what
I
are you
keep
doing?
a guy around for?
Yeah. So what are you actually doing that's like causing them to not want to be around you?
Yeah.
Like, that you never look at yourself. You always like, and men are bad at this too, but I think women are also very susceptible to just being the victim of saying, "Oh, I'm great. I'm doing everything I can do."
I think it's easier for a woman to get away with because they can always find somebody new that will shower with them attention. It's like, oh, I didn't really have to improve anything.
Naturally,
just found another guy.
Naturally, way more options, and that's a good thing and a bad thing because it's like there's always attention. It's like we live in an attention economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you get attention, you get that dopamine hit, and it kind of makes you think that I'm not doing anything wrong because I can always find somebody that's into my pictures.
Somebody will deserve me.
But like then you want to ask them, like, okay, are they going to date you or they just want you for the short term?
Yeah.
It's like, what do they want you for? Because like if you have a guy that's wanting to date you, then great, you do you, and you guys have a nice relationship. But if you're attracting guys just like, hey, you're hot, but I just want you for a night because you're a nightmare otherwise, and I don't want to talk to you.
I don't want to be around you.
I don't want to be around you for an extended period of time. Then maybe recalibrate how you're rethinking life, like how you're thinking about acting, because you're inviting certain people into your life that are like, okay, she's just for short term because I couldn't handle this long term. And men don't have the same level of options, right? They have like, they don't have the ability to have those like, that Rolodex, right? Of like, women just wanting you for short term. There's,
I mean, a guy who's built himself up in this high value, plenty of women want to lock him down.
Yeah.
But as the man, you still have to go out and do the work to go.
But they want you for the long term, right?
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to. It's very rare to find a high value guy that works on himself. Like they don't want to just give that up.
Yeah.
To go.
And that's like, if I was to give any kind of advice, I'm no expert, but the prevailing thought that I have nowadays is I would never be in a relationship where the woman doesn't genuinely desire you. So like, and you can see that, like I'm saying, like they can tell themselves very quickly on how much they actually like you. Where
girl who desires you wants to help do things for you. Like, can I do this for you? Can I cook for you tonight?
So they'll be the ones to try to lock you down into a relationship. I don't think the men should ever be the one to like lock a girl down, because I think it just doesn't work that way. In my opinion, I think a lot of guys are like, it's and you see the movies where the guy's like courting the girl, the guy's all over the girl.
Yeah, that's all that Disney brainwashing stuff that you're told to believe, and then
it's complete BS. She doesn't want that. Like she'll want that because you're bending over backwards to like take her on vacation, give her roses, and you're like love bombing her, right? And it's a form of manipulation.
Yeah, just curious why is she so? She should be chasing you. You're the high value guy.
Yeah, and that's what she wants. She wants a guy that has the value, that has options, that she's like, she has to like work to get to, because that's what she looks up to as her man. That's the only way a relationship works in my mind, long term.
Yeah,
because as a guy, you can only like, unless you're like a prince, that you can keep up like the lifestyle of like flying them to different countries and like just like like overcoming any weakness you have as a guy through experiences and money. Unless you're one of those people, like most guys will put on like this show, right? They'll like, they'll go after the girl, they'll put on the show, they'll pay for dinner every time, they'll even if they're not suit wearers, they'll put like dress shirts on. They'll do their hair up, and then as soon as they get the girl, then they kind of like revert back to who they actually
now
are.
I don't have to keep up appearances.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
So it's like it's a show, it's a manipulation. So as long as the girl comes after you, say, hey, I'm not going to don't be a player, right? I'm not a player. I wouldn't like that sort of lifestyle, but I would still prefer, I would never, at this point in my life, I would never try to get a girl to be exclusive with me. I would always wait for them to do it. I'm like, if you don't ask me, then it doesn't mean I'm out there dating a ton of women. It just means that I'm just like available for other options, right?
Yeah, girl start to define what this is.
Yeah.
Like, what are we?
Yeah.
Once she realizes like, oh, I do want to be with this guy.
Yeah, because like, I don't know. It just the way that I believe that it works the best if a girl is looking up to you as a guy that's like her best she can get. And you can tell this as a guy if you're aware of like certain signals of like, does she respect your boundaries? Does she test you all the time? Does she, if you make certain rules, like, hey, like I don't like you going to Cancun for Women's Day or Women's Weekend away or like the bachelorette party, right? That's the whole thing on life.
Will you do these things that make me lose respect for you or not want to be with you? Will you keep doing that? Then
it's like, great, you do you, but I'm not going to be around that because it's just not the relationship I want. And as like, you can be pragmatic about it and say, this is just how it is. Like, I'm not emotional about it. I'm not reactive. I'm not going to judge you for what you're doing. You do you. And we're just not compatible because you're doing something that doesn't resonate with me. I don't respect it as a person that's in a relationship. You should be, make the guy feel safe because like things happen, like you get drunk, things happen. And like, if you're constantly being around those situations, then like even the best person with the biggest moral standards, if they're putting them in bad situations, something's always going to happen, right? So if you're that kind of person, like I'm going to try to be respectful to the relationship and try to be as careful to not mess things up.
I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah, because as soon as you cheat, like I think you referenced it before in one of your videos, it's like as soon as you do something that is a complete no-go, there's no going back from that.
No, and I've had that where my ex she was calling her high school friend sexy, like basically
and if you
emotionally
go back,
cheating, and then I take her back, like okay, and that just shows that I don't have a boundary, so she loses respect for me.
Yeah,
I say I forgive, but I never actually do because I still remember like, oh, you betrayed me.
Yeah,
and then you work it out for years and years, and then the divorce happens. Well, I'm not so surprised. Just these little things kept losing respect because I didn't have a hard boundary. I refuse to accept this.
Yeah, and that's a real thing. Like they will lose respect for you. Right?
Oh yeah.
If you take them back, like they will test you, right? And I've had that happen to me before, where
things will start off great for a while, like we're working it out, we're improving, and then in the back of her mind, like, well, I can get away with it.
Yeah.
Will he actually?
And it kind of speaks to like learning, like doing the work and learning about it. Like it seems kind of weird, and like I said, I'm always looking at growing my mindset of like being a better person. And like, as a guy, like if you watch dating videos, it kind of looks like you're a player. Oh, how can I manipulate women into sleeping with me and things like that? That's not the case at all. Maybe if you're looking at game and you're like researching pickup lines or whatever you're doing, but if you're actually like trying to learn the psychology around what women are looking for, it's extremely valuable because, like for example, like as a guy, like they want women usually want you to lead the relationship, right? I've never heard of a girl that's like maybe an extreme liberal feminist, like you probably don't want to be with anyways, right? No disrespect, but like but like unless you're with somebody who's like extremely one-sided on like their ways to the left of like, I don't need a man. But at that point,
a very alpha girl that wants to lead is going to want to be with a very low, like a beta guy.
That she can control. Yeah, exactly. So like if she's like, oh, I don't need a man, then fine. Like she doesn't need a man, great. That's you. But if you actually are talking to a woman that wants a man or that respects men, then they typically want one thing, which is the guy to lead the relationship. Like they don't want to make a ton of decisions.
They want to lead, relationship, a bedroom.
Like come back and say, hey, we're going to dinner at 7. Like you don't have to be a dick about it. Like you can say, like, what are you doing tonight? Like be respectful of the calendar.
You can respect her opinion, but still be like, hey, let's do this or this.
Yeah.
Come up with a thing, not hey, what do you want to do?
Meet me at 7 at this restaurant. Like that's like there's a way to do that without being an asshole about it. Like don't be like this controlling person. It's like you're not
domineering, you're just dominant.
Yeah, you're like, we talked about going on Friday, so I'm gonna make the plans. I'll pick you up at 7. Be ready by 7. I got a great place picked up for us. We'll have a great night. I got a good night picked out. Then she just concentrates on getting ready. She's in the feminine energy. You're in masculine energy. You're
you just focus on getting ready, being girly.
So like a lot of guys are uncomfortable with that, and that's why and it's culture based too. And I found that when you date around different cultures, you realize they expect different things. Like I think in the Asian culture, sometimes they expect the guy to be overly controlling, but like they expect like, hey, the guy's going to order food at the restaurant for the table, which is like as a Western guy, you're like, you got to understand that like if I did that to the wrong girl, I'd get punched in the face.
Yeah.
So like,
that's something I would never do. I'm not ordering
right in front of the waitress, or like I don't get water thrown at me because I'm like ordering for her like she's a child. So like you got to be calibrating a little bit on like the cultural norms.
Yeah.
But like I'm talking about like as a guy, there's certain things like get to wear a dress shirt, be a gentleman, like pull out the seat, like that's every girl wants that.
Yeah, it's not supplicating. It's just these are what.
Yeah.
It's not because I want something from you. It's just like this is the kind of person I am.
Yeah, it's just like I'll be able to lead, and if things like I got this.
That's what I got most out of game too. It wasn't necessarily like pickup lines. Obviously, you want if you're going to approach a girl on the street, you want to be able to like get the interaction started.
Yeah.
But the main thing it taught me was I can improve in certain areas. I can maximize my looks. I can work out. I can improve my value. I can be better at connecting. I can, have successful dates where I'm leading.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was married, I wasn't a leader. It's just like, what do you want to do today? I don't know. What do you want to do today? What should we eat? Like?
Yeah, that's the most unattractive thing ever. And it's like,
and you don't realize it until you get out of that situation. Like, oh, I see why I was losing attraction throughout the years.
And it's so like it causes friction too. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things. Like you're not being considerate. You're just being either lazy or you're.
Yeah, it's not considerate. It's you're not living up to your role as the man.
Yeah,
that is your job to be.
Generally, when you do that too, you end up going to the same place over and over again. So it's like well, I don't want Mexican. I don't want Vietnamese. Let's just go to McDonald's. Or let's just go to like the same bar that we used to always go to because neither of us want to make a call. She doesn't want to make a decision. And the guy is too weak
I don't want to choose wrong, but you don't want to choose. Right.
So then we go to the same place. We're bored. Nobody's like trying new things. We're not doing anything that we like. We're just doing the same stuff. Yeah, we're doing the same stuff we've always done, and we're getting bored. And then she's on Instagram seeing, oh, this guy's in Greece. Like obviously.
Yeah, and then you hear like, I would hear like, why aren't you more like Rob Deerdick? He's so outgoing and stuff. Well, I don't know. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
It seems like a rude thing to say, but
at
the same time, she's definitely bored. Like we're not doing anything different. I understand it now.
But that's why, as a guy, like be very selective with your relationships, and don't come at it with and this is my advice. Take it for what it's worth, but I would say like you can't. Your ability to work on yourself while in a relationship is very limited, usually because like you're not thinking you have to because you already have something there. Like you're already coming home to a girl, right?
Yeah.
So
or you're distracted with her.
Yeah. But she also keeps you in a box of like if you're with the wrong person, you're like if you expand too much, you're like, oh, I'm reading this book or whatever, or I'm watching this dating video. And she's like, why do you do that? Like why are you trying to get better? I was
actually talking to my friend today. She was talking about how she feels people are jealous of her, like her friend, her mom, because she's trying to grow.
Yeah.
And when somebody cares about you or you're already in this box, when you try to grow, they think you're going to like leave them. So they try to bring you back in.
Yeah.
So if you're with the wrong person, they don't want to see you succeed because then you could possibly outgrow them.
Yeah. And that's always the case because you're supposed to be growing together.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case because either it's somebody that's growing ahead of you or you're lagging behind. Like it's like yin and the yang, right? It's like
which is why it's important you have somebody who's pushing you while like I want to see you succeed as much as possible.
Yeah, that's why I think guys can just like relax on the loneliness a little bit. Like loneliness is good. Use that. It's tough, but definitely use it. Yeah, use it to your advantage. Like a lot of guys are comfortable with saying like I don't need to improve because I have a job and like I have a place to live. Like literally, like
fine.
Like literally. Do you
want to be doing fine or?
Yeah, you don't love it, but you are not going to die of like.
Yeah, you're not in pain enough to change. You're just fine. It's like, do you want to be just fine?
Yeah. Or like, what's your loneliness really about? Is it because you don't want to sit and actually have thoughts in your head? That's really what it is. Like when people are they pick their phone up, and I'm guilty of this as well. Like I would love to be able to just like leave the phone, the headphones, at your like at the gym. That's great, put on podcasts or whatever. But like there's sometimes you just need to walk alone with your thoughts.
Yeah.
And
If you,
people are
if you
just
really
so
think like how often you're just distracted.
yeah.
Your phone's always something, always watching something, always listening to something at the
Yeah,
gym, always music,
There's
always somebody
always
talking to me.
stimulants that are out there. Like you just need to be very okay with like sitting alone. And in the last year, when I moved to Montreal, I didn't know anybody there, and I would just like I'd like to obviously meet people, but I also like to experience like life just alone. Like there's no weekend parties. There's no like obviously I had conversations with people like texting and stuff like that, but like I don't know, just a different experience of like just like being completely self.
Gives you time to reflect on what I
Yeah.
can be doing better,
Yeah.
maybe things I haven't been doing so great.
Yeah, I think
Gives you
it's-
that time to just I can watch whatever I want
Yeah,
today. Like
and you're
anything
not
productive.
and you're not lonely. Like sometimes you prefer it. Like I think sometimes you get to a point where, and I think this is actually good for dating. Like sometimes you get to a point where you'd rather just be alone.
Mhm.
You're not lonely. You're not a loner, but you're like I'm going to be alone with my thoughts, or I'm going to read a book. But I'm cool with that. I don't need somebody to complete me. I need somebody to add to my life. I don't need somebody to like be the extra little part that I'm missing. Of like, oh, somebody to take care of me, be that figure that like cooks me dinner.
Somebody just to be there to give me some validation
Yeah.
that I am enough.
Yeah, so get to the point where you're cool with being alone, because I think people bring in relationships with scarcity, right? Like be in a position where you're good with being alone. Like nowadays, like that's why you're like the better you get as a person, or the more happy you become as an individual, the less you want a relationship, the more you just want. Like if I match with somebody and I'm compatible and we're good, great, I'm open to it. But I'm not asking for it anymore. Like I'm not like, okay, I need to bring in somebody to my life because I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Because like when you get there, you cannot work on yourself. When you're single, you can work on yourself every day. You can go to the gym. You got time to spare. You can.
Yeah, it's your freedom. That's why it's important to pick the right person, because your freedom is so valuable.
Yeah.
And if you're with that wrong person, it tears on you mentally. It keeps you wanting to do certain things.
And it's just depressing, right? Like you give up things, right? You give up things in your life. You give up golf trips. You give up, you give up like nights out with
give up that freedom of just like, I'm just going to go out today. I don't have to ask anybody about it. I just decide I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Or even like traveling alone. Like, I think both of us realize the value of doing that. Like I would say
everyone should do that.
Everyone should do that. I think after high school, if there's any younger viewers watching, like if you're at that age where you're like, I don't know what to do with my life in terms of business, just go somewhere overseas, because it's crazy how different things are. Hopefully nowadays, like I hate nowadays where everything's being westernized, everything's being like everybody's watching the same stupid TikTok stuff, and so they're getting like brainwashed. And it's such a sad thing. But there's still people over there that aren't like that.
Yeah.
That are like you go to France, there's still that culture of people that are the phone's nowhere to be seen. They have a newspaper. They're having a glass of wine. Maybe they're
you go to a place you don't speak the language, and you're forced to just figure it out.
Yeah. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations, or like understand how other people are living. And it's like it's not they think it's like it's the same as you're even down here. Like I know it's like pretty westernized in Playa del Carmen, but even down here, like you see there's a different culture of like more family oriented, more like going out and having fun with people, right?
Yeah.
And you go up to some places in Canada or in the States where it's like you're just sitting there and you go to a family restaurant, everybody's on their phone.
Yep.
Like you would never see that in other cultures. That's why it's so important to get out there and experience how other people live, so you can choose.
Yeah.
You can say, I identify with the European way of life because I like the family, like in Italy. Like I've been doing research on like blue zones. You ever heard of the blue zone stuff? So there are 5 regions in the world that are identified as blue zones, which are where people live the longest.
Okay.
So there's certain aspects that they have in common. So there's like Okinawa, Japan. I may be butchering that. Okinawa, Japan. Sardinia, Italy. There's Loma Linda, California. There's Costa Rica, a spot in Costa Rica. I think that's 4, and there's another one. But they all have the same thing in common. So there's family. They're family oriented. They get exercise, but not necessarily at the gym.
Okay.
They exercise because they're walking around. They're doing stuff.
They're doing like work.
Yeah, they're doing manual labor. So it's like they're getting their exercise. They're not jacked. right? They're not like
Yeah, they're
jacked on
healthy.
Instagram, like this is my body, you know, with filters and everything. They just like go doing their business, right? They're not sitting on couches.
Probably not eating processed foods.
Yeah, they're not eating processed foods. And the thing is, like with Europe, especially France, like all these guys do is eat bread. And why aren't they fat? Because if that's what you did in the States or in Canada, you'd be 600
Yeah,
pounds.
the bread here is terrible.
It's
Like,
like
well,
extremely
the States,
toxic, right?
sure.
So you experience other things. I mean, you do that alone. You're like, you put yourself in uncomfortable positions, but then you also educate yourself on the rest of the world.
Yeah.
On like, oh my God, this is how people live here.
I've never taken a trip where I haven't grown in some way.
Yeah,
New
absolutely.
experience that I can talk
Yeah.
about on a date.
Yeah.
Life lesson, just figuring shit out on my own.
Yeah.
Different food culture, whatever.
Yeah.
Always learn something.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest things. And you're never too old to do that either. Like, so I think
No.
I would suggest it very early on in life. I never did it. I did it for school, like when I was 25, but I would say early on in life is the best time to do it because you can like it affects the rest of your life. But if you're like going through something, whether it's like a job loss or a divorce or something like that, like just get out there.
Just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like going through a divorce,
Yeah.
getting out to a new country, even it'll just distract you for a while of that
Mhm.
pain, or like get your
Yeah.
mind off of something different.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll realize just how great this freedom is. Like I love
Yeah.
being able to go to Costa Rica come
Yeah.
to Playa del Carmen for a weekend.
Yeah. There's
Just get out of wherever.
There's only two directions you can go. Like as soon as you understand that, like there's only two directions you can go, and it's only you that can do it.
Yeah.
So either you're
sit
gonna
here
go
and do nothing, or
Yeah. Well, you're gonna even nothing is something like.
if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah, you're gonna make a decision to do the same thing, which is just gonna be like, you know, maybe you're gonna be overweight, maybe you're gonna be falling into bad habits, drinking, whatever it ends up being, or you're gonna make a decision to better your life. So I think you have two options, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
really,
option.
yeah.
Time does not stop for you. There's no option of like, oh, I'm just gonna chill here for 5 years, you know.
Yeah,
No,
I'm just
no,
gonna
that's
do
just
nothing.
not how it
Maybe my
works.
life will get better.
Yeah, it's just and you do it for spite. Like spite's great too, right?
And that's why I started. I wanted to make her regret leaving.
Yeah,
me.
which is fine. Like, why not? That's not people would say it's toxic, but it's like not really that bad.
I don't
if
think
it-
it's
if it
toxic
motivates
if you're
you.
doing it because like I'm not trying to like make her regret me and like upset about it. It's like
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna make you see what I became.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be jealous and I don't know.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret. But it was also what it took for me to actually get to that point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, I think you need somebody to give you at that point. You're kind of needing people to give you validation of like validate my growth. You know,
Right,
like
yeah.
I told you this is what I would do and this is what I did.
Yeah.
But if that's
Plus,
all
it was your decision to leave me. I kind of
Yeah.
want to stick it to you. A little bit.
but if that's all you need,
yeah, it's not
then why
vengeful.
is it bad? Like
It's not vengeance.
yeah.
It's just,
and hopefully the other person's doing the same thing. Like that's why you just don't have any negative feelings. Like great, you guys, you do you, and I wish you the best. That's always what any relationship I've ever had is like I
Yeah.
would prefer them to be doing their thing. You know, like if
Yeah. But I'm
maybe
gonna.
if
I
they-
wish you the best.
yeah, if they made the wrong call, fine. Maybe you made the wrong call too. You can both rekindle after 3 years and say, hey, I was doing this wrong. You were doing this wrong. You can
Yeah.
rekindle, and maybe if you both at the same spot.
And even if it does work out that you're going to get back together,
Mhm.
they're not going to want the old you anyways.
Yeah.
That's the old you that they left.
Yeah.
You have to become more attractive so that they want to get back. And maybe you become so attractive that you would never want to get back with that
Yeah.
person.
The worst thing you can do is wallow in your self pity and say, well, if I'm crying about things, or if I'm like playing the victim, or
Yeah, I
trying to
got
get
to
them to
that
pity
point where
you.
it's like, I want her to feel sorry for me so
Yeah.
she comes back. So you're like kind
Yeah.
of moping around,
Yeah.
sending these texts, like, I miss you so much.
Yeah.
You remember all these, like, that's not attractive. It's not helping.
Yeah.
And she would never respect you if she came back anyway.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you're
Exactly,
just a sad sack. I want a man who's
Yeah, exactly. Like,
been able to at least try to do some positive things.
Yeah. yeah. So I think it's hard. It's not easy to get
No,
that. And
I mean, it sucks.
it takes time, right? Like you're separated from what was it, 7-8 years now?
Yeah, 8 years.
And we've all I've been in relationships since my divorce, and it's a learning experience. It doesn't happen overnight, but as long
No.
as the content is out there like this, as long as people are talking about it, I think that's the main thing. Because like you never know when you're going to go through it, right?
No, yeah, it's not easy. Like,
Yeah.
obviously it sucks, but like, you only have two choices. You can do something about it, or you don't do something
Yeah.
about it.
And nobody
then,
cares.
Did your life get better or
Yeah.
worse not doing something about it?
And nobody, I didn't say like nobody
one cares.
Nobody cares. And that's a powerful statement. It's not a
No one's
bad
coming
thing.
to save you.
Like your friends, like they'll be your friends. Even people like know each other for like 20, 30 years. like I would never expect them to be like a sounding board for me. Like it's great to have people to talk to, and I think that's a very powerful thing for men is to have a good group of people that actually talk you through things. But if you're the same person months and months and still wallowing in yourself, you're still negative, like don't expect people to stick around you because why would they?
People are willing to like listen to your problems if you're coming up with solutions while you're doing it, not just
or you're getting better.
I'm so miserable, and then the next day I'm so miserable. I'm so it's like okay,
or
what
help
are you
me,
doing
help
about
me,
it?
help me, help me.
They say Tony Robbins says like 60% of the people are glad it's your problem. The other 40% don't care.
Yeah.
So
so like have a good group. I think like having a men group is a great idea. But don't expect them to be your sounding board for your negativity. You expect them to try to help you.
Yeah, that's what they're there is to help you recognize, become aware, grow. No one wants to hear just problems.
You like, give your advice on business. Give your advice on like get some better photos or like maybe you're doing this wrong or have
this is what worked for me.
Have like debriefs on your dating, like, hey, this is what happened. But don't always play the victim because I think people can really, and I can definitely understand that. And if people were coming out to me and were constantly telling me, like, this is why everybody sucks or this is why I hate women, like I just don't have time to listen to that because first of all, I don't have genuinely the time to have that conversation, and I also just don't want that to be part of like my psyche.
I also don't believe in it. Personal accountability, ownership. Okay, your date sucked or your women are rejecting you. Well, what can you do about it? Like, take responsibility for what you're doing wrong. Or things that you can improve on. Like everything that happens, like it doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's how you're going to react to it. Like you choose how you react to it.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do, right? It's like that's a powerful nature of reading and just like having like I think just the biggest thing for me is like have a few people that you follow in terms of your content, like people that are filling your mind with the right stuff. Like I know a lot of people that kind of like go with the thought of Andrew Tate, and he's like a lot of his stuff is actually helpful to men. Unless you're a toxic person in general, and then you're just going to amplify the fact that you're an asshole. If you think that's like the reason, like if you're like a misogynist or you're like, I want this like boat chick, or I'm looking for these specific people that I'm going to invite on my yacht. I'm going to be a billionaire, crypto, like all this stuff. Like if you're just looking for a quick buck or a quick, I'm going to be this person I'm seeing on Instagram. Like if that's what you're looking for, that's not self-improvement. That's just like you wanting a miracle in a lot of cases. And you're like
that, and you're kind of manipulating your circle.
Like you're being an asshole and you're justifying it from people that are online. But if you're taking messages of like, sometimes he's like, go to the gym, get in shape. That's the best thing you can do.
Become the best version of yourself you can. Make as much money as you can.
Take the good things from it and say like, you don't have to be a crypto billionaire, but that business idea you're looking at, maybe you start it, maybe you try harder with your job or upscale your job. Like take it for what it's worth. Don't be a clone. Of his, because it's like a lot of people are doing that already, and like we don't need any more of those people. But like learn, like take the good parts of it and say like, I want a couple of role models. I want people that are positive, like have positive messages. Like if you're insecure, get people who are teaching you how to be more secure. If you're crappy with approaches and you're like, I would love to be able to approach a girl at a grocery store on the fruit aisle, then learn about that. Or like
take the steps to improve that area.
Fill your head with content, like whether it's Instagram or Instagram, like YouTube content or books.
Books are huge. I learned like the book we were talking about earlier. Noticed like this is something new. I've heard this 1,000 times. Thoughts include your reality, but I've never heard it as like, well, if that's true, what are you doing on a daily basis to control it? Oh, that's a very good point.
Your actions, like you can look at your actions any day and you can say, well, what are my priorities? And I try to do this. Sometimes it can be pretty depressing because you'll never line up. So like in your mind, you have priorities of like, okay, what's your main priority in life? Okay, well, my main priority in life, hypothetically, would be, to get in the best shape of my life. Which is like, for me, I'm like, as long as I'm good, as long as I'm in shape, I don't really care if I'm not going to be Mr. Universe. So that's not never going to be the biggest priority in my life. I think it's like, as long as I'm healthy and
it's
good.
More the consistency.
But say that's your biggest priority. You're like, I want to be a bodybuilder and I want to be like abs and all this stuff. Great. But like write down how your day is going. Let's like piece together your day. So if your day is not focused toward that, if your day is not focused toward your diet, if you're not spending like an hour, 2 hours in the gym, doing the right exercises, like scaling up, like if you're not doing the steps,
Yeah, you're not
But
gonna
how
get
can you
there.
say that your biggest priority? Like your biggest priority is what you're doing every day.
Mhm.
So if you're like wallowing in your self pity, oh, my biggest priority is like getting a better girlfriend, getting a hot girlfriend, but then you're wallowing in your self pity, watching Netflix 5 hours a day.
Yeah, still playing video games.
You are gonna get what you do. Like that's your habit. Like you are the combination of the 5 people. I think it's like 5 people you're with.
Yep.
And you are the product of what you do every day. So like it's so pragmatic. It's so objective. There's no subjective part about it.
Yeah,
Like,
look at your habits. Like,
yeah,
what are you,
we're not debating anything. Like you can sit there and debate stuff, and you're like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Like, no. What are you doing? Like, let's look. Every day is 24 hours in a day. How are you filling your 24-hour day? And I can tell you, and I don't do this perfectly. Like I need to take my own advice on this, but it's just so hard.
yeah, I mean, I'm not where I want to be,
Yeah.
but I look at my day. It's like, well, I see where the pitfalls are.
Yeah. At least you're doing it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're
Yeah.
becoming aware of it. Yes, it's not where I want to be. Obviously, I have to make improvements, but at least I know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just oblivious to like, oh, I can't believe I'm not in shape yet. Why is the world so?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I know why.
Meanwhile, you get a burger on your plate. Like it just
I like ice cream. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you
Yeah.
like ice cream more than the 6-pack.
Yeah.
Obviously, I do because that's
Yeah.
where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And so it's
It's
not
bad.
wrong.
Yeah.
It's not wrong. It's only wrong if you tell yourself that it's not the case.
Yeah.
So you're blatantly lying to yourself. And I think looking at Jordan Peterson's content, his earlier content. I don't know. He signed on with a new company now. I've never really. I haven't listened to his new stuff, but his old stuff where he's always a very emotional person.
Mm-hmm.
About how he would tell people like men are in a tough spot these days, and he's really doing his best. I think a lot of people give him a hard time, but he's like,
He's got good content.
yeah, you can tell the emotion in the guy's face, and you can tell he's like whether you agree with him or not, he cares, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, some people that are worried about their diet, like go eat an egg. I don't care if you don't like it, but eat an egg every morning.
That's what I started doing. I never ate eggs until I was 37.
Yeah.
Like now I eat them every day.
Yeah. So it's not about the taste,
No.
but it's like wake up and eat your egg because it's better than a croissant and it gives you protein that you need, and it's gonna make sure you're not starving. It's gonna start your day well. Like think of it as that. Like don't think of it as like I want to be pleased every second of the day. I need something that pleases me.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
like take a cold shower. Like here, like in this building, there's no hot water. Like, so like every day I gotta take cold showers. It's like if I want to shower, I gotta take cold showers. And obviously I'm showering. So like, sometimes it's difficult, right? And you don't gotta do things.
You gotta do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But
make your bed every morning. Like this
Habits.
simple things. Like we're talking about objective stuff at this point. I think like you can be subjective about it. You can have your personal truth, but there's 3 types of truth, right? There's the personal truth, political truth, and the objective truth, right? So there's a lot of people have their personal truths about it, but you can sit down and no, there's like actually an objective truth. So like either doing the right things, you're not doing the right things, but like
what are the results showing?
Yeah. It's like we're not talking about political truths. We're not talking about your personal truths. It's like you can think one way, but if you're not doing the right things, then you're gonna get the same stuff, right? So
Same with dating apps, dating in general.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I hate dating apps. They don't work. Well, are you doing any of the right steps? Like, have you done anything to make it work? Or are you just complaining about it and just like it doesn't work? Well, I also didn't put any effort into it.
Yeah.
So.
Or just try something else. Like maybe you aren't the type of person that's going to do well in dating app. So then learn in person. Like learn how to be social. Like meet people through friends. Go to events. Go to networking events. Like there's people everywhere. Like there's people at 7-Eleven. You can walk in there and like have a conversation. Like drop a bottle of water. And like have a laugh, like there's so many different options, but everybody wants things at their footsteps, like at their feet. Like it's just like it's like give me something that I need. Like I want everything to be given to me, and if it's not given to me, then
if it's not right away, then it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Or I want to be good at dating immediately.
Yeah.
Well,
or I'll lose.
You got to start. Working on your charisma, work on your appearance, everything. There's stuff you can do to.
And it's reps too. Like that's the thing. Like I was not never an in-person approach guy, and I think like it would take me a while to get used to that, but I think you can't expect to just like even research. Like I can't read a book about it. You have to like actually do the work if that's what you want to
It's
do.
like 90% action, 10% theory.
Yeah.
So you read about it, you kind of know what you're doing, but
Yeah.
until you get out there and do it, it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
It's like playing guitar or playing sports. Like
Yeah.
you can like watch a video on how to skate.
Yeah,
I'll
you
let
can
get out
study
there and
playing
skate.
basketball all day, but until you're actually doing it.
Yeah. And like being responsible for the failures, like, you know, taking the wins, but also taking the losses.
Learn is like, what did I
Yeah.
do well? What didn't I do well? How can I improve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess we can end it there. I mean, I could talk about this shit literally
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I appreciate you sitting down with me.
Yeah.
Any final things you want to say?
No, I think that's it. I think we covered pretty much everything. I don't want to, you know, preach. People have their own directions, but
Yeah.
I think we covered most of the things. Like, take for what it is.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what my whole message is.
Yeah.
You know, self accountability, personal responsibility. You can improve yourself. You don't have to stay stuck.
Yeah.
There are steps you can take that, if you started taking, would move you in a better direction. It's going to help you in all aspects: business, dating,
and
personal.
The reality is, like, again, like I think the last note that I would say is like the reality we mentioned before is that people are not like nobody's responsible for you other than yourself.
Mhm.
So like you and I have very similar viewpoints on this. Obviously, we've talked about it. So we're going to continue to apply that to our life, and maybe we're going to have wins, we're going to have losses, but I think we have the mindset of like continuing to be improving, continuing to do things, taking care of our health, like getting better as men. So if you're not going to do that, it doesn't. Like, I want people to be better, but like there's only so much time in the world, and I can't. I don't care.
Yeah.
To be blunt with you, I don't care.
Yeah. I want people to be better.
Yeah.
I'll do some. I mean, I help you out if you
Yeah.
need it. If you're
But
going
if
to
you're
apply
not gonna
it.
do
But
it.
yeah, I mean, not.
So
I
we're going to do it regardless.
I'll move on without you.
Yeah, we're going to do it regardless. So it's your decision, your responsibility only.
And I like that you said the losses too. Like
Yeah.
I have losses, but I'm not just going to quit because of it. I'm going to learn from it and figure out, okay,
Nobody's
what is
perfect.
next?
Yeah, nobody's perfect. Like if you have a week of bad behavior, if you're a drinker and you're just like going on like a weekend bender, you're not an alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
You're just do better the next weekend. Like you have the ability to wake up the next day, hopefully, to do it all again. That's one of the benefits we have. So like never lose focus on like, okay, next day I'm
Don't
gonna
beat
try.
yourself up for losses, things.
Yeah, but it is your decision. Like it is ultimately your decision. And then my hands are full managing my own life. So like,
Right?
and you're doing your thing with this.
And I want to be around people who are looking to achieve. I don't want to be around people that don't have that same mindset.
Yeah.
Want to bring people down to their level because they don't want to rise.
Yeah. It's just an objective truth, right? Like either you do work or you don't. That's up to you.
100%.
See
All
you
right,
at the
brother.
top.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. I guess that's it for now. We'll see you next time.